Hello everyone, this is Moehawkman and welcome to another episode of Is It Viable, where I test questionable money making methods to see if they're worth it or not. In today's episode, I tested out opening 1000 Tarrely crystal chests just to see what I got. For those who don't know, there are two different crystal chests, one in Tarrely and the other one is in Prifddinas. They have different loot tables, so I'm choosing to open the Tarrely crystal chest because it has a higher GP upside. Normally, this is where I would talk about the GP per hour, but this is not one of those times. The biggest reason is that crystal chest doesn't guarantee that the loot you get is better than the cost of the key you use to open it. What does this mean? Take a look at this image. At the time of this recording, crystal keys were worth 14,525 GP. Using that grand exchange value, there are only 6 loot possibilities that are profitable while the other 7 will lose you money. Going into more detail, these are the profitable possibilities. Number 4 gives you a Dragonstone and a stack of ruins worth around 200k GP. Number 9 and number 10 both give you a Dragonstone and a crystal half key and 15k GP. Number 11 and number 12 both give a Dragonstone and a piece of ruin salvage, and number 13 gives one piece of Dragonstone armor and a Dragonstone. But this is a 1 in 6,801 chance of rolling this table, so don't get your hopes up trying to get it. Now on to the chest cracking. I highly recommend that before you do this, you should wear a ring with the highest luck possible. Luck of the Dwarves has a tier 4 luck. It does cost around 80 million GP right now, so if you don't have that, I suggest wearing a Ring of Fortune for tier 3 luck or a Ring of Wealth for tier 2 luck. Tier 1 luck has no effect on crystal chest. For those who don't know, the crystal chest in Tarrely is located directly across from the summoning building, and there's a bank on the other side of the river so you can refill your inventory with more keys quickly. I highly recommend bringing a familiar to hold extra keys so you make as few trips to the bank as possible. I used a pack yak, but a war tortoise or terror bird is fine as well. You'll just have to bank more often. I also recommend changing your summoning options so that you can take from BOB just so it doesn't slow down your chest opening. It will be under the summoning options in a drop down menu, so you can just pick the option take from BOB. You can then put a keybind on the familiar button and it will grab as many keys as you have space for. Once you've set up everything, you can now get on with the chest cracking. Just click the chest, hit the bank all button, take keys from your familiar, and repeat until you're done. Now when I was doing this, my brain turned off and I went into autopilot mode. It took about 1 hour to open all 1000 keys, but I did misclick quite a few times doing this. If you don't make any mistakes and click faster than I did, you can probably open 1100 keys per hour, but no more than that. If it wasn't blatantly obvious already, I want to warn anyone thinking about doing this that opening crystal chests is a very click intensive activity, and my hand started to hurt after completing the 1000 keys, so I'm warning you before you decide to go too deep on this. Another thing that you need to keep in mind that there is a grand exchange limit of 100 complete keys, 100 loop halves, and 100 tooth halves of the crystal keys every 4 hours. If you don't care too much, you can just put in buy orders and leave them until they're complete, or use the keys whenever you check in on your buy orders. If you're impatient, the only way to get around this limit is to buy from other players. But the street price is around 18k each the last time that I checked, so if you really want to do a lot of keys, you'll need to eat the extra cost from buying in bulk. Another little bit of information for you is that the Ruin Metrics drop tab will keep track of everything you get from the crystal chest, so you don't have to write down any numbers or remember anything. After you're done, you can just check the drop log and grab everything out of your bank so that you can do your own price check. Speaking of price checks, let's see what I ended up getting. The total price check came out to just over 35 million GP. If you deduct the cost of my keys, it comes out to 20 million GP profit, which is honestly surprising for me. I had to do a double take and some extra math just to be safe. As it turned out, The ruins accounted for nearly half of the price check, which was a little over 17 million GP. The next biggest contributor was the ruin salvage, uncut dragonstones, and the random cash stack whenever I rolled the key half table, and that totaled to around 13 million GP. Everything else added together like the stone spirits and the seeds made up for the rest of the 5 mil. Now would I recommend others to try this? Yes, but only do it at your own risk. If you have really bad RNG, or you don't trust the luck rolling in your favor, then maybe you should just skip this one. However, I would say that only doing 100 isn't a big enough sample size to know if you're unlucky or not. This is why I decided to do 1000 crystal chests just so I can get more accurate information. At the end of the day, this is a risky but rewarding way to make money without any high skill requirements. Personally, I feel my 20 mil GP per hour is a bit too exaggerated because certain ruins are overpriced at the moment. However, if you lower the number a little bit, anything close to 12 million to 15 million GP per hour is still pretty good. Just some food for thought in case you plan on trying this. Anyways, that's all from me today. This has been your fellow RuneScaper Moehawkman. Be kind to one another, stay safe, have a nice day. Peace out, everyone.